For what, over a decade now, we've been promised this incredible future where our cars just drive themselves. A world of effortless commutes, hands-free road trips, the whole shebang. And really, at the absolute center of that promise, you've got one company, Tesla, and one incredibly bold vision. Okay, so that was Elon Musk back in 2019, and listen to the language there. It's not hope, it's not a maybe someday. He's saying he's certain. It's not a question mark. All of a sudden, the self-driving car wasn't some far-off dream anymore. It was a promise with a very, very specific deadline. And yet, here we are. It's years later, and I'm guessing you still have your hands on the steering wheel. So the big question is, what happened? Where is that self-driving future we were all promised? All right, so in this explainer, we are going to try and unravel this whole story. We're going to look at the promises, the actual performance, and all the controversies surrounding one of the most talked about pieces of tech of our time. Let's dive in. Okay, to really get to the bottom of this, we have to start with the words themselves. I mean, autopilot, full self-driving, these are really powerful names. But what do they actually mean when we talk about, automotive engineering? And this is absolutely crucial. Both autopilot and what Tesla calls full self-driving are officially classified as SAE Level 2. So what does that mean? It means they are driver assistance systems. They are not autonomous driving systems. The takeaway? You are still the driver. You are always 100% responsible for whatever the car does. And this chart really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the massive gap between where the technology is right now and where we all think it is, or where we want it to be. Think of it this way. Level 2, that's a co-pilot. It helps you out. But level 5, that's the pilot. The car is flying the plane. And right now, we are very much still in the co-pilot stage. And look, this isn't just about splitting hairs over words. The big worry here, what critics point to, is that these names create this dangerous thing called automation complacency. Basically, drivers start to think the car can do more than it actually can, and they tune out. And this isn't just a theory. It's led to lawsuits, regulatory crackdowns. A whole lot of people are demanding more clarity. So, okay, there's clearly a disconnect between the marketing spin and the technical reality. But what about the technology itself? I mean, how has it actually performed over the years? And how does it really stack up against all those promises? Let's take a look. I mean, this timeline, it really tells a story, doesn't it? It's a story of some serious optimism, followed by repeated delays. You go from complete autonomy in 2018 to being able to sleep in your car by 2019. The goalposts just keep moving. And it's a pattern that's created a ton of excitement, for sure, but also a whole lot of skepticism. And maybe the most famous example of this optimism was that 2016 Paint It Black video. You've probably seen it. It was this incredible demo of a Tesla just cruising through cities and suburbs, seemingly all by itself. The message was loud and clear. Hey, the future, it's already here. But as we all found out later, the reality, well, it was a lot more complicated. Turns out, that video was really more of a tech demo, not what the car could actually do in the real world. For one, the route was pre-mapped with special tech. The car still needed a human to jump in and take over. And get this, it even hit a roadside barrier during filming. So it was a cool glimpse of what might be possible, but it definitely wasn't a reflection of what was available to customers. And for actual drivers, out there on the road, the experience has been, well, a mixed bag. You've got the now infamous phantom braking. That's when the car just suddenly slams on the brakes for no apparent reason. And way more concerning, there have been a whole series of incidents where the system just completely fails to see stationary objects, leading to some truly tragic outcomes. So all of this, it brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Is autopilot actually making our roads safer? And the answer, as you might guess, is really, really complicated. Now, if you look at Tesla's own data, the answer seems pretty simple. They report a way lower crash rate when autopilot is engaged compared to when it's not. And it looks even better when you compare it to the US national average. So on the surface, you'd say, wow, that's a huge win for the tech. But critics will tell you that this data doesn't paint the full picture at all. It's a classic case of comparing apples and oranges. Think about it. Autopilot is used mostly on highways, right? And highways are already way, way safer than driving on city streets or rural roads. Plus, a big MIT study brought up an even bigger worry. What if the system is actually making drivers less attentive, not more? And that's not just a what-if scenario. An independent analysis of government data found something pretty shocking. A 59% increase in airbag deployments after AutoSteer was installed. Now, what does that suggest? It suggests that while the system might be preventing some small fender benders, it could be involved in more serious crashes.
So, with all this conflicting data and with public safety on the line, it was really only a matter of time before the regulators got involved. And boy, when they did not mess around.
Yeah, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, has been looking into this for years. It all kicked off with a probe into these crashes where Teslas were hitting stationary emergency vehicles. That investigation got upgraded, and eventually it led to a massive recall of over 2 million cars. And even after that recall, the agency opened another probe to see if the fixes actually worked.
But, maybe the most telling verdict on full self-driving doesn't come from regulators. It comes from the drivers themselves. Get this, when Tesla offered a free 1-month trial of the system, a whopping 98% of owners who tried it decided not to subscribe. That is a huge signal that for the vast majority of people, the technology just isn't worth the price tag right now.
And the pressure is just mounting from every direction. You've got class action lawsuits piling up, there's a criminal investigation from the Department of Justice, and then you have the tragic reality of at least 51 fatalities reported in incidents involving Autopilot. It's basically a perfect storm of legal, regulatory, and PR problems. So we're left with this central question. Has this relentless push, this full self-driving label, actually advanced the technology? Or has it come at the cost of putting public safety in the back seat? Look, there is no denying that Tesla has pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible with a car. But you have to ask, in the race to build the future, have they maybe put the present at risk?